So I'll be talking about ecology, and ecology is basically the scientific study of the interactions between organisms and the environment. The ecological study of species involves the biotic and abiotic factors, and biotic basically means the living organisms, and abiotic means non-living. So here we have a monkey and a pond, like at a zoo. And the monkey would be classified as biotic factor because it is a living organism, and the pond of water would be non-living, so be classified as abiotic. So now we come into the population ecology, and that is a group of individuals of a single species living in the same general area. So we see here in the bottom corner just a group of wildlife animals just hanging around and doing what they do. So within the population ecology, we get the density and dispersion. And with density, it is the number of individuals in a given area, and dispersion is a pattern of spacing between the individuals. Now, some patterns of dispersal are clumped, uniform, and random. So the clumped pattern of dispersal is the most common near required resources. So you see here penguins all along here are in their own groups and like clumps surrounding resources. We now come across the uniform dispersal pattern, and that is usually antagonistic interactions, and you can see like they're nicely like spaced out around here, not in clumps. And so that's basically how they are arranged. We then come to the final pattern of dispersal, which is the random pattern, and that is not common like in nature. It's just more like wherever the seeds go, the seeds go. Wherever like the animals go, the animals go. Like see in this little diagram right here, it shows them all spread out, and there's no like a sense of uniform into where they need to be. Now we are into the demography, which is a study of vital statistics affect population size, and we have the additions occur through birth, subtractions occur through death. So birth is you add, death is you subtract. You have the life table, and that's basically the age-specific summary of the survival pattern of population. Now, with this, you represent the data within a survivorship curve, and that's what you see here in the bottom corner. Now, with the type 1, you see a human, and basically this graph right here shows that we have a low death rate in the early lifespan, which is right here. And then we slowly start to come down. For type 2, for the squirrel, it's basically a constant death rate over the lifespan, so it goes both ways. Then for the type 3, it's an oyster, and that's basically a high death rate in the early lifespan because it automatically drops right when they're born, and then it just evens out at the bottom. So for type 1, it's a low death rate. For type 2, it's a constant, and for type 3, it's a high death rate in the early lifespan. Now we come into the community ecology, which includes the interspecific interactions, community ecological niche, the trophic structures, dominant keystone species, and the disturbance ecology succession. Now, with the interspecific interactions, we get the the competition, which is like the competitive state, which is either a win or a loss for the organism. You have the predation, which is the same, like a win or a loss, so positive or negative. The herbivory, which is positive and negative. You have the symbiosis, which is a parasitism which is where one is affected and one gains from it. You have mutualism, where they both gain from the organisms, they work together, and then you have commensalism. You also have facilitation, which can be both positives or neutral and positive. So it could help out one and do no harm or no benefit towards the other organism. Community is the group of populations of different species living close enough to interact. So here in this picture you have in the background is a bunch of animals like birds and fish and frog, grasslands, and they are one community because they're just a group of different organisms, as you can see here. And they just live closely together and they just interact, helping the food chain of each other, which goes with the how the bird eats the fish, the fish eat the other fish, or the fish eat the bacteria within the water, the frog eat the fish. It just all, or the insects even, it all helps out with the food chain within the community. We also have the ecological niche, and that is the sum total of an organism use of abiotic and biotic resources within the environment. And we also have the trophic structures, and that's determined by the feeding relationships between the organisms. Now, what I don't have typed up on this slide, but I do in the previous one, is a dominance. And with that being said, that is an overview of part of the ecology subject in bio.